I saw you once, Maddie Schwartz. Before any of this began, I saw you. Alive. I was Cleo Johnson. But in my death, I became the lady in the lake.
I'm the one who found her in the lake. I can't just be someone's wife.
You never wanted to do anything else.
I never tried to do anything else. Did you ever wonder why?
Your writing dreams ruined your life. Now you wanted those same dreams to rewrite it. But why did you need to drag my dead body into it?
How did you know?
Know what?
Where to find her?
My wife was a lot of things. There's one thing that she's not. That's foolish.
This is not your high school newspaper, Natty. People's lives are at stake.
So what you gonna do? You gonna get that money and leave everybody behind?
I don't know. I don't know.
Dreams push you down till you drown.
To dream the impossible dream. To bear
You wanted to tell everyone's story,
with unbearable sorrow.
but your own.
To run where the brave dare not go. This is my quest to follow that star. No matter how hopeless, no matter how far, to be willing to die so that honor and justice may live.
Every time someone turns up dead in that lake, it does seem to lead to you.
The unreachable star.
Hello, good morning. My name is Carolyn Hines for Carolyn Talks YouTube and podcast channel. Thank you so much for joining us. And this show, Lady in the Lake, it's very interesting in how tension builds in the show. And I have to give credit. I think a lot of it goes not only to the performances and Alma's directing, but to the score. And the score for this show, I have to say, is like amazing. I love this score because it builds the tension. But I want to ask the three of you about how tension is a theme in this film, right from the opening sequence with Maddie and Cleo. Is like this show is filmed with tension and anxiety and pressure and stress, but also a sense of sinister, this sinister sense that runs through almost every interaction that everyone has. Cleo and Maddie in particular, when they're interacting with people, whether it be the men they're with or their parents or their children, there's this underlying sense of like, I could hurt you right now, but I'm not going to because I love you. And I want all three of you to talk about how the show does such a fantastic job of showing how these women have their own sense of not just anxiety, but a sense of violence in them because of how society has forced them into a position where they have no choice but to think these really dark thoughts. And Alma, we'll start with you, and then we'll go with Moses and Natalie.
I wish I wrote down what you said because you articulated it so beautifully. So thank you for that. Yeah, I'm a first-time showrunner, so I never done TV, definitely never done anything as long, and my goal was to sustain this tension you're speaking about all the way through, and the sinister but way it feels, but under the undercurrent of it that you described, which is informed by the pressure from outside the society, but also like the boiling water, that you're in, and this whole metaphor of like crabs in a bucket, this kind of like a Baltimore thing where people kind of have to almost climb over each other to survive. But if they didn't do that, they wouldn't pull each other in. Maybe they would get out. So yeah, everything you said, it was just a matter of really finding ways to always have that. And sometimes Moses would laugh at me because I would come to her and I would say, you know, this is character work, but tension, murder, mystery. And when we wrapped up, she gave me a sweatshirt with that on the back. So yeah, you're right on.
Yeah, I definitely would credit Alma with that totally, because I feel like sometimes, especially with like the nature of crossboarding, it's like where you were before and what's happening next and exactly where you are. And sometimes when it's moving so quickly, it can be hard to keep up with where you are. And just as Alma said, it's just like it's tension, it's murder, it's mystery. It's all right here on the surface. And so, yeah.
I would also credit Alma for creating this like compound stress that these women have, that all of us as women have, that you've just got all of these pressures coming from and obstructions coming from all different directions. And these characters are really at their eruption point when we meet them. They're like, all of these forces are contained and they're about to explode. And it's an incredible place to meet both of them at the beginning of the show.
Thank you. Yeah, we don't normally get to see women play characters with latent murder tendencies or murderation in their hearts. But thank you.
Yeah, you know, I want to add to that, you know, we're dealing with something that is kind of also obviously is inspired by noir, where often the you know, the trope is of the femme fatale, this like pretty little thing that might kill you or hurt you, but you never know anything really about it. So it was such a pleasure to have these actresses come and breathe so much life into something that is the opposite of that, you know. And I also just loved what you said about every scene having this idea of I can hurt you and I want to hurt you, but I'm not going to because I love you. And that is really something that I tried to do with every character, not just the main characters.